An elite squad of nano-enhanced soldiers join forces with the faction to put an end to 15 years of unnecessary bloodshed under the brutal dictator Sopot. Red Faction 2.
Nanotechnology, created by an Ultor scientist on Mars, stolen, brought to Earth, stolen and stolen again, until we who are loyal to the Commonwealth possessed it. We were volunteers, eager to serve as Chancellor Sopot's secret weapon, an army of super soldiers, fighters who were stronger, faster, and smarter than anyone else. But Sopot saw what he had created, and feared it. He ordered us destroyed. 2,000 soldiers transformed by nanotechnology. Nearly that number hunted down and murdered by Sopot's elite guard. And in our place, he created mindless abominations. We thought we would be heroes. Instead, we are renegades allied with the rebellious Red Faction. We are a squad of 6, nano-enhanced, united by our uniqueness in a common cause. Shrike, vehicles, a madman with a taste for speed. Quill, sharpshooter, a killer without a conscience. Tangier, covert reconnaissance, secretive and deadly. Repta, heavy weapons, the ultimate destructive force. I am Molav, the squad leader. And he is Alias. Demolitions. For the honor of the Commonwealth, tonight Sopot dies. Sopot is broadcasting from the studios upstairs. We kill him and get out fast.
I think I hear them.
Yes, sir. We've got him tracked. You! Inside! Come out with your hands up!
Looks like we're expected.
Hello there, this is SteelSnake 72 and welcome to my Red Faction 2 on PS4 medium difficulty playthrough. As we start the second level with all guns blazing and completing a bonus objective, because why wait for a door to open when you can just blow a hole through the wall? As I say, this is Red Faction 2 and this is level 2 and this is a much longer level than the first one, so we'll be able to talk a lot more in this one with the task of, I think this is actually, if I just check, yeah, 24 minutes this video, so it's quite a long one. Hopefully you feel alright sticking around for the full lot, because yeah, we got a lot to talk about as we begin by blowing stuff up. And I mean, I guess we can start on a tangent. I mean, this is at a time when destructibility in games is a lot more of a thing, because Red Faction 1 and 2, they feature this thing called the Geomod, which is all about blowing holes in walls. You don't see it so much in this game, which is a bit of a shame, as I activate my night vision. In Red Faction 1, it's actually a really big feature, and you can find lots of hidden secret rooms, is what I'm trying to say, by just blowing holes in the wall, especially in the mines in the early part of the game. It doesn't feature as much in this one, and we kind of went away from that, because these days destructibility is just not what it used to be, and it's a bit of a shame. But I mean, Battlefield's made it a big thing, but in recent games it's become virtually non-existent. Battlefield 1 was a significant improvement in that area, but Battlefield 3 and 4 was so poor, and we were a mile away from what we had in Bad Company 2, which was just phenomenal destruction. As I mean, this game we go around with a grenade launcher, and I just love this gun. This is like one of the most iconic guns from my childhood in games. Just, you know, this and an MP40, which would mow down Nazis, and this just blowing chunks out of people. You know, these guns were it for me. That, and I suppose the tranquilizer gun in Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3, but yeah, pretty awesome stuff. So I guess I should start by talking about the channel, which was something I meant to do in level 1, but with that being such a short video and just gushing over this game, I completely forgot to do that, so let's start by doing that. So this is a simple channel between me and one other person, where we're going to be just playing random games, to be honest with you, just playing games. And it's going to be a complete mix, you know. I'm going to focus on stuff like Red Faction 2 and whatever games I can just sort of play through and playing through the campaigns, sometimes on hardest difficulties. I mean, we're going to be talking like anything really, anything that I really want to put on the channel, I will just record it and put it on. And whereas the other person involved in this channel is going to be looking at the certainly the more modern releases, is someone who will admit doesn't play as many varied games as me, and if you're a big fan of Call of Duty, then you're going to be getting that all the time, because he's very excited for Call of Duty World War II, so you can guarantee that will be on the channel almost instantly. Me, not so much. I'm going to be focusing on obscure games like Red Faction 2 for the most part, and I suppose these aren't obscure games, but Evil Within 2 and Wolfenstein 2, you know, not the most popular ones out there, but that's what I like to focus on, because those are the games that I love. And so if you want a mix, you've got it at this place, honestly, because there'll be plenty of Call of Duty World War II up there, and I'm sure that WARRIORX will be playing through the campaign on Call of Duty World War II, so you will still get that. And whenever I finally pick up Call of Duty World War II, because I'm not as much into my Call of Duty as much, but I tend to pick them up when you get them at a much cheaper price. At least play through the campaigns a couple of times. I'll certainly do that, and I'll do that on the hardest difficulty, so you'll get a hardest difficulty walkthrough out of me. And it's funny, because as I'm talking about Call of Duty, I'm going to point out a lot of similarities between this game and Black Ops 3's campaign, because this level reminds me a lot of the second level in Black Ops 3. I wanted to say Black Ops 2 then, but it's definitely Black Ops 3. And yeah, because Black Ops 3 is a campaign that I actually really liked, and again with the controversial opinions, because I know most people don't like Black Ops 3's campaign. I hear a lot of people talk about how they think it's trash, they think Infinite Warfare is a million times better, which I just completely disagree with that. I mean, I thought Infinite Warfare was boring. You know, I had probably had the least fun playing that as in a Call of Duty. That and Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare probably just slightly enjoyed that more, so which would mean Infinite Warfare would be my least favourite. I just found it really boring, that game. Didn't do anything for me, but it's all a matter of opinions, and you know, no one talks about Call of Duty campaigns anyway, so we're talking about a small number of people. So who knows how World War II's campaign will go. Hopefully it'll be better than Infinite Warfare's. I'm sure it will. I mean, it has to be, but yeah, Black Ops 3's campaign has a lot of similarities to this, particularly this level and the second level in that game, because this is a level where you're meeting the team and meeting a squad, and you know, plot twist from a game from 2002, your squad's going to betray you halfway through, similar to Black Ops 3, and you're going to be hunting them down in boss battles, which, yeah, that was weird, wasn't it? Black Ops 3 had boss battles. I mean, none of them were any good, like, but, well, they were okay, I suppose. And the boss battles in this aren't much to write home about. They sort of just shoot your boss with the best weapon you've got until all the health goes. There's not much more to it than that, but hey, if you want good boss battles, go play, I don't know, Metal Gear Solid 1 to 3. Not any of the other ones though, because boss battles seriously went down after 3 in that series. Which, that's a series that's just celebrated its 30th anniversary on it with a bit of a whimper, because, well, that's what happens when Konami's in charge of things. But we're not talking about Metal Gear Solid, because this is not Metal Gear Solid, this is Red Faction 2, a completely different game. So that's the kind of thing you can expect on the channel, you know, different games, and games will play together, Call of Duty World War II being one of them. You can probably expect Star Wars Battlefront 2, again, a game I'm probably not going to buy at launch, because, you know, online shooters just, they've not done it for me now for a long time. You know, Black Ops 2 is the last one I really dedicated myself to. However, one game that goes against that is Titanfall 2, and that's a game that both me and Warrior absolutely love. I love Titanfall 2, such a superb game. I've had so much fun playing that, and that has got me back into online shooters in a quite a bit way. I mean, I'm not playing it the lengths I used to play Call of Duty onlines, but just such a fun game to pick up and just play, like just. And I told Warrior, I said straight away after finishing the campaign, I said, no, this is a game you've got to get, because not only is it one of the best single player campaigns I've played since 2007 for shooters, definitely. It's just, its online is so fun. I even enjoyed the online, and that's something that's just not been happening at all. No matter what the game, even when it's Uncharted, I'm not coming away loving it when it comes to its online. But Titanfall 2 has certainly done something for me, just putting the fun in that. And funnily enough, I've had actually a lot of fun revisiting this online, well, not online, just multiplayer, with the amount of crazy maps and setting up the bots and the game modes. and all the weapons. Just this is actually a crazy multiplayer. If you just want something to mess about on, this game certainly got it. And you can actually set up the bots yourself and tell them what guns you want and what their health should be in that, which is something Call of Duty could do with doing. Although I think custom games lets you do that. At least it definitely did in Black Ops 1. Yeah, it's funny because I'm going to be talking about a lot of Call of Duty, and it's just not a series I don't play as much anymore. I mean, I've seen some footage of the beta for Call of Duty World War 2, but I'm one of those people that I'm a bit sick of World War 2, you know. I loved World War 2. World War 2 shooters were my bread and butter for a very long time, but by 2007 I was fed up. I loved COD 4. And because of that, I didn't like Call of Duty World at War at all at the time. As we're going to meet a new character now in this game, as I just stopped my tangent for a second. As I always just refer to this person as WARRIORX, and a new squad mate who's going to blow enemies away with us. But yeah, World War 2, World at War. Not a game I loved at the time, but I've got a lot of delayed appreciation for that. I actually, really rate that game now, and just explosions galore, which is this game summed up. But World at War had a lot of cool stuff going for it, as we just see. Stealth camo just seemed to activate with some great voice acting. Honestly, this game's such a peak of voice acting, isn't it? Oh, how times have changed. But World at War was an odd one. It's got so much to go for it though, like the death cards. I loved that. If they were to remaster World at War like it did Modern Warfare 1, hopefully better, because that was a disastrous remake. I hated that. Really not worth the price that it was. I'd buy it in a heartbeat, I think. But in terms of what you'll get on the channel when it comes to the latest Call of Duty World War 2, I've spoken with Warrior, and his main plan will be, for multiplayer, will be to do basically a road to, I think they used to call these like Road to Commander series, where you'd go from first rank to max rank, and just like, each match, maybe just highlights of each match, and just the journey, what weapons we used and whatnot. I think that's the best thing you're going to see, and who knows, maybe he'll carry it on after Prestige, I don't know, but you can expect it from level 1 to whatever the max rank is these days, because I don't have a clue. To me it's still like 55 from COD 4, but I don't know whether it's higher than that now or smaller than that. It's changed a lot since Black Ops 2, which is the last one I played, and I don't even know what the max rank was in Black Ops 2 now. I think it was like 50. I do think it's 50, yeah, but that's what you can expect. And I've spoken again, and he said he'll do a campaign playthrough, so I can definitely confirm that for you. And I guess I just want to talk more about Call of Duty, Call of Duty World War 2, and just all Call of Duty is like what I'm hoping for Call of Duty World War 2, because there are aspects that are interesting me about it. Because World War 2 it's something that I like slightly more these days, I guess. Because I think we all went off it, by the time 2007 came along. But I'm willing to give it another shot, and this game isn't going to be doing anything too interesting from what I've seen when it comes to what part of World War 2 it's covering. It's covering the fighting first, which is Call of Duty 2 Big Red 1 again. So it's going to be doing. Sorry, put a satchel. I love doing that. When you do that to an enemy, it's so funny to watch them just run around like that. But getting back on point, yeah, they're going to be doing the fighting first, which is when you so I think you'll be starting on D-Day or something, and you'll be going all the way until you beat the Germans in Berlin. I would imagine. Or I don't know too much about the fighting first, in all honesty. But I was just doing some reading. It said that it's going to feature some side stuff about a French resistance woman, which could be interesting. I imagine that could probably serve as a prologue to the game. Perhaps showing the invasion of France in 1940 and how it was taken over, which I bet I can guarantee, with being a woman, we're going to get all this. Oh, this game's a champion. It's putting minorities and women in charge, even though that's something that Medal of Honor Underground did back in 1999. But whatever, it doesn't matter, does it? I think it could be an interesting thing, because it's not something we've seen a lot of. Say, Medal of Honor Underground was the only one I've ever seen something like that, and that was in 1999. And things have changed since then. In fact, it might have been 2000. I want to say 2000 actually, for Medal of Honor Underground. And I love that when you shoot an enemy with a grenade launcher in this, and you just see their legs left, you've blown everything else away. Yeah, quite a violent, brutal game. Not up to World at War standards, where some guy's holding onto his arm while he hasn't got an arm anymore, blood's just pouring out. It's a bit more cartoony, which is always fun here. But yeah, French Resistance, that could be interesting, and I imagine the campaign will follow your generic sort of thing. Hopefully it puts like, I hope it portrays war in the sort of way we used to get in the early Call of Duties, and of like, just people doing, glorifying the ordinary soldier who just did what he had to in 1939 to 1945. Nothing more. Hopefully we don't get some melodramatic bollocks, which the trailer sort of showed, with like enemies not enemies, but like friendlies punching each other and being like, "We have our orders," blah blah blah. I don't want it to be like melodramatic crap. Still it's got to be about not glorifying war, but glorifying the sacrifices that soldiers made while making it fun. Basically striking a good balance between the two, which is what they did so brilliantly back with like COD 1 and COD 2. And I was reading up, and I don't know how correct this article is, but I think the health system is going to be different in the campaign. I think we're moving away from regenerative health, which I want to talk about health in games, because so we began with health packs in the late 90s of games like your Wolfenstein and your Doom, and your Medal of Honors included, and even Call of Duty to begin with. And then we made the change to regenerative health, which came from Halo, I believe, and then Call of Duty adopted it from COD 2 onwards. And that was cool, we liked that, that was new. But certainly nowadays we've grown serious, what would be the word? Just like, we don't really care anymore for regenerative health. People are a bit sick of it. I think we're just sick of seeing it all the time, and we're just desperate for something new, because that was back in 2005, COD 2, changed that, and we're in 2017, and there's still no sign of anything new. But I think this could be changed with COD World War 2, because I don't think it's going to health packs either. I think it's going to go, as we see a new character, your generic battlefield, pilot who can't fly. But anyone who plays Battlefield know what I mean. But we're going to a system of where you're always going to be working with squad mates, and you get them to heal you. Now I don't know how correct this is. This could be completely wrong, and it could just be regenerative health. I would not be surprised if what I've read is wrong. But if that's true, that's really interesting, because that's something new I've not really seen before. No, not personally. Instead of finding health packs or just hiding behind a wall for 5 seconds, having to call for someone to come and basically heal me, that could make things really interesting, especially on a harder difficulty, where you're going to take a lot more damage and you're going to be using cover a lot more. Because health's such an odd one. I think we're trying desperately to find something new when it comes to games, and there's a lot of aspects of games that are like this, where we're desperately trying to find things new, and health's a definite one of those. Now this game uses something that's been used a lot now in modern games. We're having partially regenerative health with health packs, because if you look at the screen now in the top left, you'll have that red bar, which when I take a bullet will go down. After time, in this game a very long time, it's really annoying actually, it will regenerate fully. If it don't manage to regenerate at all and it goes to black, I will lose one of those like first aid like marks underneath it, and if I lose all three of them and my health bar, last one there, I die. Games have started using this, like Wolfenstein had the partially regenerative health, because your health worked in 20, 40, 60, 80 and 100 to begin with anyway, and if you took damage from 100 to 81 it would generate back to 100. However, if you went to 80 or below, your health would only stop regenerating at 80. A really simple system, but it worked, it's functional, it's a cool one. But the problem with that is it's not new, is it? It's new, but it's just a combination of two old systems, and even then Wolfenstein wasn't the first to use it. It's not as new as we think it is. Like, Resistance used it, this game used it for goodness sake in 2002. And that's another similarity between this game and Resistance. The first level won't give you the regenerative health, but later levels will. Because if you remember Resistance Fall of Man, because of story, your health doesn't regenerate because you've not been infected with the Chimera virus, or whatever that story was. It's a long time since I played Resistance. And that is a trilogy. Oh, so I just lose a health. Thankfully pick it back up by just blowing some guy up and blowing me up with it. But I'd like a Resistance trilogy to be made on the PS4. I'd definitely buy that. But I know there's a big thing of people don't want any more remasters, we want new games, and I definitely support that, but I don't have a problem with remasters like some people do, because it's not like a film where they're remaking it with new people and it's terrible and boring. They're just remaking the old game but fixing the problems that come with it. And just watching this game, like watching this gameplay, it just takes me back to such a specific time, because it really is one of those games that's really ingrained in my childhood. And we've all got those kind of games. As the car decides to run away after being blown up, he's like, my leg's been blown up, but I'm gonna run. As my phone goes off, and I should really turn that off. I've lost my train of thought now because of my phone. Killzone was similar to Resistance, of course. I've always thought, wouldn't a cool game, because you know how we have like Aliens vs Predator, wouldn't it be cool if we had like Hellgas vs Crimea? That would be a really cool game, I think, but alas, we don't get that kind of thing. But I'm interested to know about Call of Duty World War II, even in its multiplayer, because I've heard that there may be like famous battles that the game's including, which I really hope so. I'd love to like do D-Day. The only problem with what I've seen is Call of Duty is too small with its multiplayer. Like when it's still 6v6, you don't really get the feeling of being in a grand battle. Who knows, maybe the game can break that illusion quite well when it comes down to it. I mean, it could probably do what Titanfall does and put in bots in. And yes, I'm confirming I'll never use that gun ever again, because you just saw how useless it is. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if you can do famous battles from the campaign. No, sorry, not the campaign, the multiplayer famous battles that happen like D-Day. And now I've said that, I can't think of any other famous battles in World War II. But I've seen a lot of talk from the developers of them saying that they're thinking that they're introducing World War II to a new generation, and that is spot on. That's exactly the attitude that they had with Medal of Honor back in 1999. You know, Steven Spielberg wanted, because yeah, he was involved with it, he wanted to introduce World War II to a new generation of people, and for me personally, definitely speaking, and I hope I'm not the only one that says this, those early Medal of Honors and Call of Duties, they did that for me. They got me into World War II. They made me want to read about it. They showed war in they made it fun to play, but they were like, hey, if you enjoy this game, you might actually enjoy the real history behind it. And for me, yeah, my love for World War II started there, and watching old World War II films like The Great Escape and that, like Band of Brothers as well is a favourite of mine, and you can pretty much play a complete game version of that with Brothers in Arms. And Call of Duty 1 takes a lot of stuff from Band of Brothers as well, as we get the really cool gun, which is actually a secret gun. I know my cousin showed me this back in the day, which there it is, the Wasp, I believe. Never used to get that as a kid, until my cousin showed me that. But yeah, this bloody cock blocking guard just shows up and nearly screws me over, because you don't want to be firing that Wasp next to you, because it's not as bad as the fusion launcher in Red Faction 1, which would like kill you from wherever, because it was basically a nuclear rocket launcher. You still don't want to be firing that thing close to you, it will do significant damage. But yeah, World War II, it's got to introduce World War II to a new generation, so it needs to be done correctly and with the right way. You know, it can't be melodramatic bollocks of like, it's like, oh, we're going to do this, show the... No, to Americans, the people that fought World War II are referred to as the greatest generation. That's for a reason. And it's got to portray them as that, really, hasn't it? And as we engage in this really pretty generic boss fight here, you just got to open the doors, fire your rocket, run away before you get blown up by rockets coming back at you. As we come to the end of the second level, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, guys. Well done for sticking around for the full 24 minutes, really appreciate it. In the next level, we're going to be a gunner for this jet, I guess, as we get this funny running cutscene. Makes me laugh, and how he disappears. But yeah, that's thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you in the third level, where we are gunner to a generic Battlefield 1 pilot who can't fly. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.